indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Okay, approved agenda. Sounds like we have one more addition.
Passport 20, if you're okay with that in that one. And that's for the lead and copper rule improvements, inventory update
Okay,
is what that's for.
I'd make a motion to add that to the agenda.
all right, where should we,
You just put his other stuff, the 23,
okay,
be 23 and a half or 3/4 or whatever, because he has all the other stuff there too.
all right.
If we're put it as its own line item,
Yeah,
Yeah. So
because
20,
if we're making a motion, it needs to be on the agenda as its own line item.
So maybe a new 24.
okay. We'll put it down as 24 and we'll just bump everything else down.
Probably
Okay.
easiest. And then my motion would include to approve the agenda with that on there.
Okay? I'll second that motion. Is there any more questions to the motion? Any more, hearing any, Keith?
Yes.
Yes. And yes. So Chelsea, we're putting it down for 24 and then bumping everything else down one number.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, has everyone had a chance to look at the meeting minutes for, August 11th?
Motion to approve.
Second. Second. Any more questions? If not, Keith?
Yes.
And yes. All right, August financials?
Motion to approve.
Second. Any more discussion? If not, Keith?
Yes.
Yes. And yes. All right, approve of bills?
Motion to approve.
Second. Any more discussion? If not, Keith?
Yes.
Yes. And yes. All right, public comment.
I guess just as a reminder, so this would be anything on the previous agenda or this specific agenda. I believe it's 3 minutes per person. Just if you want more, that's probably fine. And then a total of 30 minutes is what, and if you want to read the whole policy, it's available on our website or at the office. So.
And then what about the cards that we discussed?
Yep, they are sitting up there if anybody
Okay.
would have had
Is
anything.
anybody on the cards, I guess?
No.
Nope. Okay,
Just know that we allow it during agenda items as well, so.
all right, thank you. Number 8, St. Edward's Church local permit.
On that, I am here on
Sure.
behalf of St. Edwin's, so I don't know
Please.
if I need to speak or anything, but,
Well, please introduce yourself.
okay. I'm Christy Lawrence, I filled out the permit to do the St. Edwin's, local gaming raffle for our 12 days of giveaway. That we do every year, we've been doing it for a long time, so I'm just part of the new crew that's doing the raffle.
I will make a motion to approve the raffle if all the paperwork is correct.
Looks good.
All right, I'll second it. Any more discussion? Hearing any? Keith?
Yes.
Yes. And yes. All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
We'll get you your gaming permit tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I need to pick that up or does it get sent out to St. Edwin's?
What do you prefer?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, if
Anything
you wanna
works.
stop in, you can pick it up.
Okay.
We'll have
sounds
it ready.
good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, number 9, MFRC waiver fees for Halloween bash. Would you guys like to come forward?
Go ahead.
We have 2 chairs, 1 chair.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're having our annual,
Can you
oh,
introduce
yes.
yourself, please?
yes, I'm Jamie Olson with McLean Family Resource Center.
Amber Berkey, McLean Family Resource Center.
And we're having our annual Domestic Violence Awareness Month It yes, was Halloween Bash, it's gonna be the Purple Pumpkin.
Purple pumpkin party or
Party,
Halloween
yeah.
party.
Okay.
Change
Get a
the
little
name.
more equitable, I don't know. And we were asking that the fees be waived for the memorial wall, as we're a nonprofit.
Everything looked in order then, or?
Yep,
We still do require like a damage or cleanup, right?
yep,
Deposit?
yep, they paid a deposit and then the cleaning fee as well.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not a waiver of the cleaning fee, but everything else. A motion to approve the
Okay,
other waiver of the other fees.
I'll second it.
all right. Any more discussion? If not, Keith?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, thank you.
All right. Washburn Life, waiver of fees for sanities.
Saturday. Rhonda Johnson, Washburn Life Community Coordinator. I have come to ask that the fees be waived for Santa Days, which is December 6th from 11 to 1.
Motion to approve this one and Halloween movie night. Just get them both done. Can we do
Okay.
that? Motion to approve both of them.
Well, I think we have to do them separate.
Sure.
But-
Okay, motion to approve Santa Days.
All right,
I'll second it.
thank you. Any more discussion? Nope, Keith?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes. Now you.
Motion to approve Halloween movie night.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? If not, Keith?
Yes.
Yes. And yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, number 12, Washburn Life request for funds for lodging tax fund.
So,
I'm Donna Summer and I'm the president of Washburn Life. And we would like to request $2,500 from the lodging tax fund. Chelsea distributed this.
Yep, they all got it.
Okay. What we want to do is those two signs up by Enterbase. Little history, one of them had been to memorialize the basketball championships from like 30 years ago. Half of that, or the middle third of it, basically was gone, and we did fix that up with our own funds. And then the other sign had been to promote the city. That one, you know, there had been several different signs, I believe, glued onto there. You know, they were tattered, peeling. We took all that off and we did put a sign banner up that we had to promote downtown. We would like to, we're gonna plan to keep that one up there over the winter, but the other one that doesn't have anything on right now, we would like to purchase a sign and put that up. And then we would like to purchase 2 additional signs, one for each of them, to put up there in the spring and possibly rotate the 4 signs that we have, maybe spring and fall, we would rotate them around. We're looking at, one is 8 by 20 and the other sign is 8 by 10. And just kind of pricing out what they would cost. It's, you know, probably about $200 or so to buy one of the signs. And then not knowing what shipping or tax would be, I figure maybe $800 to $1,000 for the banners. And then probably, if we look at the guys that we had put, repair the signs, they put up that last one for us. So maybe figuring about $500. We would have them put the one up this spring, or this fall, and then the 2 next spring. And then to draw some attention, we would like to put some lights on the signs. And looking at solar lighting, you probably know, and I don't know, maybe you have some outlets that would have some solar lighting, you know, some catalogs or something. I was just kind of looking at some catalogs, and you can get the really cheap ones at Walmart, but you know, I don't know how much they would shine up. We figured maybe we would need one for the one sign and 2 solar lights, and we were looking at ones coming from above down onto them. If we do the spotlights, you know, not knowing who mows and stuff up there, they might get damaged by the mowers, so.
Keeping them, yeah.
So I figured maybe $1,000 for that, so looking at $2,500. We were looking at the lodging tax, cause that is used, and I guess I kind of quote on here, to promote, encourage, and attract visitors to come to the city of Washburn and use the travel and tourism facilities within the city. And I have an example, I hope you're familiar with the sign that we already have up there, Discover Downtown, and then there's some of the business owners and managers that are downtown here on that sign. And then the other sign we're looking at is kind of promoting outdoors in Washburn. We've got the Four Seasons. And then we kind of came up with a couple ideas for in the spring what we would put up. So it does promote the tourism facilities, travel and tourism facilities within town, and also our retail.
I'm gonna recuse myself because I'm on the board, so you can direct everything to Mr. Happett.
Sure, okay.
So any more questions on that, or?
I guess, are these the designs that would go up? Like
Yes.
these specific ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were thinking maybe, you know, if we continue it, maybe we could even have for one of them, have a contest for kids at the school, or, you know, just kind of, you know, if we're continuing it year after year and not knowing how the wind and elements will, you know, act on these, we might have to buy signs more often. These are either cloth or vinyl signs.
Gotcha.
The one we have there right now is kind of rippling on the bottom, so I don't know if it'll last over the
Yeah.
winter or not, but.
I guess just one thought I had about the lighting, I know DOT has pretty strict requirements, and I think there's like a whole approval process, especially with like glossy signs, the reflection on people on the
Oh,
roadway,
okay.
because they're federally funded. Would be
Okay,
definitely something to look into,
okay,
could have fines or whatever, you know. And then not to be like overly picky or whatever, but would it maybe be a good idea to have the shopping one before Christmas and then the outdoor activity one like before summer, like just switch your order up a little bit?
well, the two signs, there'll be one shopping one and one outdoor. You know, the Discover Downtown is, we didn't wanna have two shopping ones at the
Oh,
same time and
that
two
makes sense.
outdoor ones at the same time. We thought one of each and then
Gotcha.
switch them out again.
And then just a question about the Get Outdoors Washburn, those photos, where'd you guys get those photos from?
Online, so they're public domain photos.
Are they AI generated?
Yeah, well, I used, it wasn't ChatGPT, but an AI program for them.
Cause my only thing would be like, I would personally be up for like even more money, but like, let's maybe do like a, you know, local photographer or something like that, cause some of the discrepancies when you do AI image generation will get blown up when they're on a giant sign, you know? Just, I've done graphic design stuff, so just, like the golf club is really, really bent, the gun stock fades into the guy's jacket, the fishing pole doesn't have a handle, the guy has 4 fingers, you know what I mean? So it's,
Oh, yeah,
there's just a few different things, then when you get up on a billboard, it makes it so much more obvious. I'm just trying to save us from that, so I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be overly picky or whatever, but maybe we could even bring it back and like, hey, here's a local photographer, kind of like we did with the other one.
And-
you know, I don't know.
maybe, you know, we could do that for spring. You know, we need, you know, because of winter fast approaching, you know, it'd be nice, I don't know how long it takes to make these, you know, we would like to get something up in the next month or so, and you know, to get a photographer and hire somebody, and for those pictures might take longer than what we have to get it
Yeah.
done, so.
I get that, I just have a hard time spending money on AI stuff, just because
Yeah.
it's trying to support the local economy, and then you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, obviously, there's money that's saved by doing that in
Yeah.
a roundabout way, but, yeah, and then also, if we do end up going with it, you wanna fix your logo on the Get Outdoors Washburn, because the bottom of the U got distorted when it was imported. It looks like 2 eyes, see how it's kind of all
Oh,
squiggly?
okay.
Yep, just a tip there or whatever.
Yeah, and I when it's bigger, it looks better, it's just a copy of a copy, I
Right.
think.
Well, no, it looks like the actual image got distorted. Kind of like really zooming in, the bottom of the U curved upwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then that'll show up really good.
Oh, yeah, we'll make sure.
Yep, should be just take it out, put it back in with the new file.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it'd be neat to have some signs. The only thing is like, I don't know, my vision probably isn't what it used to be either, but it's kinda hard to see that sign from the road now when you drive by. So I don't know if there's, in designing these, if there's, would if people more see the symbol of something if they're driving by from that far? I mean, is there kind of a study of what people can see from that distance?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I just, like the ones that are up there now, for me, they're kinda hard to see, that far.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and Mark had mentioned there's, some volunteer trees that are kind of blocking it partway too, and I don't know if,
sure,
those could be
taken out.
so you could see, cause yeah, you drive along and then they block the sign and then you can see the sign when you're closer to it, but that would maybe be an option too, and I don't know who we would talk to about that, if they're on Interbase or if they're in,
Oh,
whose property they're on, but they're just volunteers that,
gotcha. Yeah, see if we can take the trees out or whatever.
right,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that was my only kind of thought too, is like, so like that one with the 4 pictures, would that be
This would be 8 by 10,
8 by 10? Would that be one of the ones that go up there, would be all 4 of those in one
yeah,
picture?
just to give a sampling of the different things.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be, I don't know who would be this person who would do that study or whatever, where you can see it from that far away, like I said, that would be my concern, is being able to see it.
Yeah.
So,
Depends upon your font selection. Like there's specific ones for highway use, and like they actually have a whole chart where it tells you how far away it's readable and at what font size and that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it for sure.
And I guess what we could do is, kind of combining both of your ideas, we could maybe just order this one sign for now. I have in here that we would keep the money in a separate sub-account in our QuickBooks, so we know we would have the money, and then wait with ordering those other 2 until we have the design, maybe,
yeah,
use some local pictures and make sure that, we have,
and you're saying to go with that one first, and then see how that goes and how you can see it or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then play with the next design later.
right, yeah, cause we wouldn't necessarily, we just kinda, we like these, but we're not dead set on these if we wanna kinda
How
come up
long,
with something different.
how long do you think these signs will last then? Or-
We don't know, vinyl,
Sure,
I don't know if the one up there is canvas that we have now, do you remember, Mark?
It's fine.
It's vinyl, okay. So, and they're outdoor banners, so they should last, it's just,
gotcha.
they are, I don't know if water's gotten in, or if it's just the wind, they've kind of bubbled up on the bottom, I noticed. So they're not meant to be on there forever.
Sorry, one more question. So the final 2, the yellow one, the small town big value, that one's not AI, that's like Canva or something, some sort of other design program, or no?
No, I did both of these on,
Oh, both of them? Oh, okay.
yeah,
I was wondering-
Copilot is what
Oh.
I have at work, it's similar to ChatGPT, but it's not exact, it's called Copilot.
I just wonder if they'll actually let you edit the file, because usually AI doesn't mess it up, but the small town big value, then all the icons, and then the shop Washburn first, it's not center aligned. It's left justified, and then the other one is center aligned, so it just looks, I don't know, I just look at it and that's the first thing I notice is that is over to the left, the other one is center, and.
Yeah,
usually
and I
can't
guess
pick
we
one or the
can
other, but
play around and see if it would center align that.
yeah. And then for the last one, the boat's not on the river. I don't know, I just.
Yeah, it is on mine.
Is that the river though? Cause it's like a thing coming in front and, no, the gentleman in the canoe.
Oh,
is
the canoe,
Next to
yeah.
the birds above the
Yeah.
Washburn Life logo. He's kinda just hanging out there. But-
Do you think the guys, I mean, we should probably ask Adam, but would they wanna put the sign up, save a little money? Cause you got 500 here for
What size
installation.
of, how far up is it?
Yeah, okay, good question. How far off the ground can they reach it with an 8-foot ladder?
Probably not, because what is it?
It was two 14-foot ladders that
Okay.
installed that one.
Oh,
Because the legs are probably 6 feet
Yeah.
up and then the sign is 8.
okay. Well, let that
So-
one go then. Yeah, then you just get somebody to do that. Okay. So for right now, we're looking at just trying to do the one then, for now.
Yeah, but, and then the solar lighting and so, if you do provide us with 2,500, we would put it in that sub-account. We
Okay.
wouldn't spend it on other things until we needed it. And if we're short, we'll use our own money. If we're long, we'll,
Putting that money forward, do we get a kind of a say on what the sign looks like then, or,
that's up to you if you wanna.
We'd be kind of giving up control if it was in their account. It'd be just theirs for
gotcha.
the most part, yeah. That's-
But these are the tentative designs?
Yes,
These three
yeah.
of them. So,
Yeah, Rhonda?
I'm just thinking if the city and Washburn Life would like to work together, so maybe, have a little committee that someone from the city commission or someone, say this is what we have to pull and, ideas bounce from us and work together. Cause it seems like Keith, really a lot about the fonts and the colors and things like that and.
Yeah, if you want to have some input when we do design those, we would take any input.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna, use local pictures and hire a local photographer, we probably would need additional funds anyway, depending on how much that would cost, so we would be back. But I don't know, has the city ever used any of the money that's in the lodging tax?
We have not. So, well, maybe prior to me being here, but yeah, since
Yeah.
I've been here, no.
There's 19,000, a little over 19 in it,
Correct. 19,665.
and a year ago there was about 15, so there's about 4 added into there every year, so.
There's an error.
Yeah, it's not
It's actually 8 by
as much of a moneymaker as other towns.
12
But it's something.
Oh,
and 8 by 20, if you wanna just.
Oh, is it 8 by 12? I thought it was 10.
Nope.
It's 12, oh, okay.
Yeah, usually I'm just so used to like people present us invoices, then you're either like that, thumbs up, thumbs down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like giving you a working budget, I don't know.
Well, I guess I thought if you would approve us spending up to 2,500, if you want us to bring you invoices as we do it and pay it out of your lodging tax fund, that would be okay with us too. We just want to be able to order and
How
get
much?
prepared and.
sorry, how much did you guys spend on fixing the back,
It was 5 or I don't remember what it was.
3,500.
3,500.
And that was with the install of the
Okay.
banner and putting the trim on.
Okay.
I guess we could look at it like this way, I mean, you're asking for 2,500. I mean, just look at, we're reimbursing for the infrastructure that's behind it, and then they have the latitude to do what they want. I mean, just keep trying to make it look so you can see from the highway, but,
Yeah.
so.
We don't own the infrastructure though. Tana Larson does, right? For the one sign? That's what the
No.
newspaper said at least. Who owns that one?
The sign, the canvas sign, she gave it to us,
Oh, she gets it to the city or to Washburn Light?
to Washburn Life. The
No.
sign,
Oh, okay, so they,
Oh,
okay, good.
No,
The-
the actual lumber, the actual,
no, we paid for the sign. I don't know who originally owns
would
the
that be
sign.
our
If
billboard
Civic
anyway?
Club installed that, or
I don't
it's
know
on
how this went
Interbase
up.
property, but it's
Because
been there
typically it's
for
the business that puts it
20
up.
years or something.
Oh,
It's been there a
sure.
long
And
time.
they just get it,
Tea.
give them, they put up the sign.
Oh.
Gotcha. Sorry, I just read the paper and I was wondering about it.
Okay, yeah, the actual physical sign, I guess Washburn Life paid for it to be repaired. I don't think anybody actually has an ownership interest in it anymore.
Okay,
Sure.
Unless Interbase wants to stake a claim since it's, attached to their property.
True.
It does have a label from the state.
Oh, it does, okay. Nice.
Oh, does it, both of them or just?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had approved it.
Probably not for lights, but yeah, for the sign itself, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Any public comment, I guess?
I guess I'll make a motion that we approve the 2,500 and then, do you wanna be on that, well, do you wanna be on that committee?
Not right now.
Not right now. I make a motion, we approve the 2,500 to go forward with the signs. And then, just, all I ask is that it, each time you make them, try to make them as visual as you can, so we can see from the highway. That's fine.
Okay, waiting for a second. And I'm not gonna second. Is there no one else to second, I guess, right now? So motion fails. That's it. Okay, next agenda item.
All right, thank you. All right, Dakota Leathernecks, reapproval of the site authorization.
When they submitted their gaming site authorization the first time, they did not have raffles checked on there. So they have resubmitted their gaming site authorization to include raffles. Everything else has stayed the same previously. They just have checked raffles on there as well.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve the authorization site. Is there a second?
I'll second it
With the correction made.
with the correction.
Any more discussion? Keith? You?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Okay, 14, American Legion, Clint Hill Memorial. Some sort. Dana, you join?
Hey, good evening, guys. Hi. We're representing the American Legion, but more importantly, the Clint Hill Memorial Project.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Dean Bergstedt, I'm the Vice Commander of the American Legion this year.
Yep.
This is John Schultz, he's an American Legion member. And more importantly, he's the chairman of the Clint Hill Project, so. And Dana's
I'm
representing.
Dana
Park
Brandt
Board.
with the president of the park board.
All right,
So
you have the floor.
turn it
Well,
over to
all right,
Tiffany
well,
then.
well, thank you for inviting us. First I'll start out and say I'm one of the Schultz that didn't stay around and farm. So, but, this project, kinda kicked off several months ago when I was asked to chair this group, to put together this memorial. Perhaps the last feature that's going to be in the Veterans Park. And, I consider it, quite an honor because arguably, you know, Clint Hill, probably one of the better known North Dakota individuals. Of course, he received the Rough Rider Award 2018. And, he was born in Larimore, but he spent most of his years in Washburn, graduating from this high school, very active in sports and all this. And our Legion group starting out felt it very fitting, you know, to honor him in this way, have a very nice memorial in the park. And I should show you this. Memorial itself is gonna be a large granite boulder. I don't know if I have another one for you. And on one side on the front, it'll have his name, a picture of him, and a couple of quotes. Washburn's native son, and one that says, "I've never left North Dakota. North Dakota is a very special place in my heart that will never go away." Then below that will be a large brass plaque with engraving of that infamous sight of him getting on the back of that limousine, you know, to cover Mrs. Kennedy and Kennedy himself. Below that will be a lot of inscription talking about the event itself and also his career, how many years he spent. And in the back, as you see those 5 squares, that's where we'll talk about his service under the 5 presidents that he served under.
That started out with Eisenhower all the way up to Gerald Ford. And, so this is quite a process we're going through. We're going through Bismarck Memorial to, develop this for us. And that'll be ongoing throughout the fall and the winter and into the spring. We intend to install this, next summer and have a dedication in early August. So right at this point, we have this large stone ordered. We're in the process of putting all the verbiage together that I talked about being on these 5 plaques and on the front. And, exciting project to be part of. Just recently, Tony Thorson, who's on this committee, and I wanna mention too, this is not just a Legion project, it's also the Washburn community. And we had Tony put this letter together to send out to individuals and businesses in the area asking for donations to complete this project. And I can leave one with you folks. if you'd like.
And has this project been approved by the Washburn Park Board? Or is it still under discussion? Or
This is
don't
the
you
first,
know?
first I've heard of it,
Okay,
but I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's all going in the same area where everything else is.
That's correct, yeah. And as I mentioned, it'd be the last feature that we'd have in that area, so. Anything else that I missed?
No, I'd just add to that, that I think you all know that the American Legion has paid for everything down there up to this point. And mainly Terry Dorshik, you know, is heading everything, and we all thought it'd be nice for the whole community to have the opportunity to be involved in this instead of just the Legion. Because it is a native son and because Clint Hill's pretty popular and everyone has a chance to be part of that for their children and grandchildren to come for years to say I was part of that memorial.
and this might draw a lot of tourism too.
Well, part of the plan is, once we get this, everything submitted and it's all gonna be constructed and then finally installed, I plan to put together a brochure, that would be available, you know, Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center and also through the Department of Tourism. There are grants you can go for with the Department of Tourism, and I would like to do that. I've done several brochures of, different things in my work world, locally on land that I have north of town. Elmer Schultz was my father. There's a pasture out there that had a trail going through it, wagon trail. And when I grew up, my dad said, well, it's just an old trail to Bismarck. Well, in a way, he was right. But when I received the land and my renter wanted to tear it up, I says, no, I'm gonna find out what this is all about. It turns out it's a Fort Buford stage road developed by the US military in 1866. So I wrote a brochure on that. It was endorsed to be on the National Register of Historic Places. So using that same format and same type of discussion, we can advance this. And it could bring some tourism into Washburn. So, this dedication we're having, Clint Hill's wife, Lisa McCubbin Hill, will be attending. And it's either gonna be the first or second week of August of next year because it fits her schedule better. Plus, in July of next year, we have the dedication of the Theodore Roosevelt Library in Medora, and I think our congressional delegation will probably be tied up with that, so we'd like to draw them here for that event, for this dedication. So, but I think, you know, with a brochure and other promotion, I think we can draw some more tourism, you know, people coming through through Washburn. And not only did we have an article in the last leader on this, if you may have seen it, we do plan to touch base with all the major newspapers into the new year so that we can, you know, keep people into this.
Sure. One other point I think is notable is that Lisa is in favor of this project. Quintil's wife, she's been informed the whole project and she's very excited about it, so.
I'm sure the Washburn Park Board would be interested in finding out more about it themselves.
Yep.
You'll have to get a approval from them since it's their property now. So,
That's it, that's all we.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any questions?
I don't have any.
Well, I got to meet the guy twice. He grew up in our house we live in, so I mean,
That's the old Grana house, isn't
Mhm. So I got to meet him twice, so.
Neat.
So he stopped by.
it? Well, my wife, is a Holton from Washburn. Her father was Orville Holton. And, she used to have a Holton mercantile store, and her father ran the, hardware portion of it. And, he gave Clint his first job, you know, when he was in high school. It was 18 cents an hour. Anyway.
Yeah, my mother and my aunt went to school with Clint. And one thing my aunt said, he was a very good-looking man.
Are you guys like accepting donations now? Or, okay,
It's in the paper with the address to send it to.
yeah, and then this one here.
Yeah.
Gotcha, cool. Yeah, I always think that's a good idea. I mean, when I go to Hazen where I work, and they have this whole thing about the fastest man on earth, and they live there and all that, you know what I mean? It's just very interesting, very cool to get that roots, get that history, so this is a fantastic idea. Is it appropriate for us to do a donation now?
I would say we'll have to wait until the park board gets more involved.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on Wednesday at our meeting.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you guys wanna come back to our next meeting then? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Sure. we can-
Or do we want?
Now, you know,
I just wanna do it now.
Yeah.
no reason to do it now.
It doesn't
There's
go
plenty
through
of time.
to do it.
It's along with everything that they've been doing over there anyway, I mean, it's not gonna affect anything.
I don't want us to get ahead of you guys, so. And then put pressure on them because we've given a donation.
That's a good point, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Come back next month.
Yeah.
If you would, I can't guarantee
Or-
anything, but yeah, please come back next month.
Or even so, we'll put it on the agenda.
Okay,
So,
just give me a call.
yeah, if,
Or,
depends on what your schedule is.
Right, I might
Yeah.
not be here, so.
Right, yeah.
Well, now that you've come to talk, as long as it's on there, we can just decide, you guys, if you wanna show up, you could, but if not, you know, as long as
Yeah.
you know it's got approved, like, you've given us great information so far, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
And I know, John, is your phone number on, or mine?
It's on,
If you
it's
think
on
of
this
any
one.
questions,
Mine
sure,
love
give
it.
us a call.
Both-
Oh, they are, yep.
appreciate everything that you're doing, so,
Absolutely.
well thought out, so.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have to make a couple copies of it, so I
Alright.
can take it to
I need
the
one
place.
copy.
Yeah, you can
have the other copy.
Yeah, I'll give that to
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
It's Chelsea Airport. Will you
Yeah.
just make a few copies of that, so I have it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
You bet, yep.
Good luck on your healing.
Yeah, one more week, get rid of this. There, no, just a sympathy blanket.
Hopefully you
Good
have
to see you.
full
Yes.
extension and
I
everything.
think that's gonna start tomorrow.
I've been through that. Good luck. All right. Okay, we're gonna move on. Bill Knox. Come join us, Bill.
Well, thanks for, scheduling me.
Cody, do you wanna come on?
So I'm Bill Knox, and along with my wife Sherry, we lived at 501 Second Avenue for 28 years. In 1999, our neighbor across the street informed us that the property line, their property line was 18 inches from the street. It was called Elk Street at the time, now it's Fifth Street. So they wanted to petition the city to get some more land because they weren't comfortable with that 18 inches. So they figured the street's 66 feet wide, but we don't need 66 feet. They figured half the street is good enough. So I was under the impression we petitioned the city for half the street. I never looked at that paperwork. I should have, but it turns out that they vacated the whole street, 66 feet wide. So I've been bugging the city to remove this tree that I thought was on their property, you know about that.
We had that discussion.
Apparently it's on our property, so, anyway, kind of embarrassing, but you're gonna have to drop that contract with John Kugler, because the city's not involved, I guess. You're not gonna take that tree down, or are you? It's on our property.
Cody, can you,
I guess, yeah, I
can you join us just
Yeah, you bet.
for clarification?
Okay, I guess if you found where it says that it was vacated,
Pardon?
have you found where it says that it's vacated?
Right here.
I guess if it's vacated, it's not our tree, then it's not our problem.
Right, doesn't it?
It's not,
Can I have a copy of that?
You want me to copy that?
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I just found this out, I never picked up the paperwork or looked at it,
And then
so
Chelsea can make more copies if needed.
I thought they just vacated half the street. But that was probably too hard to measure, so.
Yeah, sure. we have.
Oh, yeah, thank you. How many?
Yeah, thank you.
2?
4.
So anyway, I think, your contract is with John Cougar to take it down. But I think you can probably cancel that, so. that's
Because you stated to me that you and your wife can't afford this large of a project
Yeah,
on your
so,
finances.
so I don't know what's gonna happen there. I guess you're gonna cancel that contract, I guess, I don't know.
How much?
Or are you gonna take it down? I don't know. It's a threat to our house. Every time the wind blows over the years, many times this tree has blown right towards our house and we were kind of fearful it would come down. And June 20th, we had those terrible winds in Washburn. 2 trees went down up there, big trees. Our tree was going like this. We actually got out of our house and went and sat in our garage in our vehicle because we were afraid it was gonna come down, so. We were still leery it's gonna come down. So, but now it's on our property, so I don't know what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, I just have to say that,
Can I give one back to him?
thank you so much for being honest. Like, I mean, thank you so much for being honest with this.
Pardon?
Thank you for being honest with this.
Yeah, well,
Because, I mean, you found that out, it was already on contract to get taken care of, and you just decided to still come out here, so
Yeah.
that's very respectable, thank you. I don't know, like, how much was the quote? for it?
It was, we were estimated it was $4,500.
I think John Cougar said $4,000 to take it down, right?
Yeah, I think his estimate was 4,500 if I recall. And that's the one that we had accepted.
Yeah, but he's not gonna hire a crane,
Doubtful,
so that's his, I guess that's his way of doing it, so.
yeah.
So Cody, then does the forestry board or does it go to the city to where we need to notify Mr. Kugler?
I can notify Mr. Kugler about that one.
Okay.
That would be fine. You know, yeah, I guess if it's not our tree, I can't see.
I will make a motion that we have Cody notify Mr. Kugler that because of this outcome on the property, that it's not on city property. Keith, you have any? Well, that's my motion
See if it's seconds, yeah.
Yeah,
for discussion, so.
be
We'll need
nice
a
to
second.
help, but I mean, at what point do you
Well, we gotta vote on the motion.
vote on the motion?
There's a second or not, then we can have discussion.
And the motion was what again?
To allow Cody to talk to Mr. Kugler about canceling that contract. Because it's not on city property. Or at least to look into.
Second that, I guess.
Okay, discussion?
At least bring it into discussion. I don't know, I have a hard time with this a little bit because the vacating is kind of weird because like, have we been doing maintenance on the street and stuff still without even knowing it? Like, are we still taking care of the street?
There's
I know-
no,
I know-
it's a
but, like,
cooling.
Oh, it's just a
It's a
cooling.
It's a Kool-Aid.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I know where your house is, Bill, and I was imagining it was that, the end of that, the dead end.
That second
Okay,
avenue.
thank
It's
you.
kind of to the west
Yeah.
side of the house.
Okay, I don't really have a map or anything.
Fifth runs north and south.
Gotcha, yeah.
It's 40 feet from our house, and it's 70 feet tall,
Right.
so if it falls, our house is gone, along with us, so.
And it was the city who originally planted it?
Pardon?
It was the city who originally planted it?
No,
No.
I can't hear very good. I should wear
Is
my
that just a
hearing aids,
cool
but they're
tree?
dead.
Okay.
it's just a homegrown tree.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it's a
Well,
healthy tree.
We didn't grow it, I mean, it grew.
Right,
you know.
yeah, it just came on its own.
Yeah, it's been there for like 80 years or 100 years.
Yeah.
We had the North Dakota Forest Service come up and, oh, I should have brought that, but give an assessment. They recommended it taken out, and I forgot, you got that.
Yeah, the state did recommend taking it down because it's a hazard. They said the tree itself is healthy, but it is a hazard because of where it's sitting. That's why the forestry board was gonna take it out if it was, on the city property, but obviously if it's not on the city property.
If it comes down, it's gonna take power lines down too. MDU power lines are coming down, cause it's hanging over those power lines. It's leaning that way. So,
For more discussion, Cody could also talk to Otter Tail and see if it's cost benefit. That they might get involved in.
We had talked, I know, I think Zach had talked to them.
yeah, I talked to them. I had Albertail come over and they said they don't mess with it.
They're not gonna, yeah, they said they
Oh,
weren't gonna touch it, and then they also said they weren't gonna shut the power off when we were cutting
Oh.
either, so. I think that's one of the main arteries to the city, so I don't think that
Oh,
was something that was viable.
So apparently he's gonna work on that tree with the power on. This is kinda dangerous, you know? So we were thinking about contributing to hiring a crane, maybe $1,000 or something to hire a crane, but I don't know if the city would go for that, you know?
I think we'd have to look into it more.
The reason I'm having a hard time with this is 'cause we've done like kind of charity sort of things in the past, like when the people had their pipe break, we didn't have to pay for it, it was entirely their responsibility. We chose to pay half sort of thing, I don't know, so I have a hard time when they're older and there's danger and then money, you know what I mean, so. Yeah, but then I get it that it's not our land, right, so.
Another concern of mine is if the city gets involved in helping pay to do this,
That's a
and,
precedent, yeah.
and there's a safety issue involved that
Mhm.
now we're tied into promoting to get this tree taken care of without maybe looking at other avenues to eliminate this issue.
Right, and then.
So
everyone
I-
wants their trees down, right?
That's why I made that motion that we need to kinda stop this contract and look at what the other possibilities are.
Yeah, for sure.
That's-
Which I agree with, and I'm just letting out the discussion in my mind
No,
where I'm
no,
at,
that's
yeah.
good, I want good discussion, so.
This could be I mean, we start cutting down trees on private property, where does that stop?
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, I know, that's the issue.
And
If
it
you
is
set a
over half our
precedent, then
budget.
you might have to.
Yeah.
It's over half our budget,
Oh, wow.
just the cutting down of that one
Okay.
tree.
Yeah.
That's,
okay.
that's, you know, like had discussed before, there's our tree cutting down, and because his tree isn't the only tree that's a hazard in town right now.
Right.
And so we've been, you know, like I said, we've been putting out that money to cut down trees.
So what's the city's policy as far as trees that are a danger? I mean, if they're on private property, you don't mess with them?
Well, yeah,
Uh,
we don't have the right just to cancel
Typically,
one's
yes.
tree.
Or do you take down trees that are on private property?
No,
You
No.
don't. That's the city,
no,
right?
it's only on city property.
yeah, it's gotta be in the boulevard.
Yeah, that's,
On the
yeah,
street,
10
so-
feet in or whatever, yeah. Boulevard is 10 feet, I think.
And
It
depends.
can vary.
It varies depends on what
It-
street you're on.
It could vary up to 30 feet.
Ours is 10 feet, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, whatever you guys decide is fine. I kinda bugged you guys for a while to take that tree down, but it's kind of embarrassing. I finally went up and got the paperwork today and looked at it.
Mhm.
So that's a situation.
Yeah.
So what's the decision? Just gonna cancel the contract or?
Well, that's the motion currently on the table, yeah.
Right, I think that's the best step to move forward
For now, yeah.
for now, and then look at all the avenues before the next meeting, and then maybe Cody can come back and give us an update. And then he's got a chance to look through this as well now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll have to double check on everything there with that.
Yeah, Bill called
That's in the
me,
right spot, and I used to own the house across the street with that 18 inches where they had vacated,
right,
so that's, I know that side was vacated at that point, you know, on that house.
Bill called me a couple hours ago and I said, it's best that he come and explain it instead of me trying to explain this, so. And I appreciate you coming down.
Well, I guess that's as fair as I can ask, so.
Yeah, at least for now, we shouldn't be just paying for the whole contract, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I-
find out what our liabilities would be and everything, so. All right,
I
any
don't
more
know-
discussion?
One thing I don't know about the liability as far as those power lines go, if that thing fell, we're not responsible for that, are we? Are we responsible for that?
I mean, generally
Uh,
speaking,
I
you're
can't.
responsible for everything on your own personal property, including, you would be responsible for anything on your own personal property. Like, anything.
Including the power lines?
Anything that would damage the power lines, because isn't that part of the easements
Yeah,
and stuff?
power lines are easement.
Yeah.
We would be responsible for repairing the power lines?
I'd have to
don't
look
know.
exactly into that, but if there was significant damage, possibly, that I'm not too sure about.
Should that be a question for Lindell or somebody?
Yeah, Would be,
that's all
yeah.
easements and.
Yeah, I'll let,
Probably a lawyer question.
You know, with our true ordinance and stuff for sure, yeah.
Cause if it fell,
I'm sure
definitely
Cody
take those
will.
lines down.
Well,
I'm sure Cody will look into,
typically there's a license you need to cut down around power lines too.
Yeah.
For an
Yeah.
actual professional tree cutter,
That's true,
and
yeah.
I only know that because of my cousin's husband, so
Mm.
it's a test you have to take.
opened up a can of worms.
Now, I don't know if that's just commercial or if that's on private property as well.
You
Well,
think it'd be
after-
everywhere, but who knows?
Right.
Yeah. You'd hope it'd be everywhere.
Cause that could cost quite a bit to put those power lines back up, I suppose, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, should we reach out to Lindell and find out? I don't know the legality of this, I suppose we better consult the city lawyer and ask him.
With the city,
we can always redo a contract,
Right.
but I think we have to cancel the one that,
would
we've-
would the city attorney have any opinions on that, I wonder?
well, he could give us direction.
Yeah.
Yep. And find out what the liabilities would be and stuff like that, so.
Well, okay.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank
Well,
you for.
we gotta vote. It's
Yeah.
motion second, and we gotta vote.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Motion again was to basically stop the contract. So yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Thank you, Bill.
All right,
Well,
thank you,
thanks.
Cody.
Yep, thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Jamie, real quick, do you need, with the park board, do you need me here for 22 or?
Are you kinda okay with, what we talked about that day when we were down there?
If you don't need me here, I'll.
I think we're good. I mean, if nobody at the park board has anything wrong with that, so.
Good, thanks.
Okay. All right, SP&E proposal. So, we have a little issue at the memorial building. I call it the south, basketball hoop doesn't crank up high enough. And we got an estimate from them. I did visit with the American Legion. They felt that it wasn't installed properly. Because, and then I visited with the company. And they said that they did what they could with the equipment they brought for pulleys and stuff. And then when he got done, it didn't go up high enough, but he didn't have the correct pulleys in order for the change of direction to lift it up higher. So he kind of called it good as is. Does that make sense?
He didn't know for sure if it was gonna be high enough or not. He had stated that when he was done with the project, and I told him that we would have to look at it. He did what they were supposed to do. Now going forward, because if you do want the projector to work
Yeah.
and you put the hoop up, it's got a reflection on the screen. It's not up high enough. So I had asked him to submit a quote just to see what it would take. I sent it to the Legion because they initially started this whole project to see if they would pay for this thing. I never heard back from them. We need to do it. They even stated that it has to be done before their Memorial Day project. So I don't know if the city wants to just to go ahead and approve it, and it will. There is going through and adding on a different pulley to go with the other hoop as well to fix that, and then be able to allow the basketball hoop that faces the projector to be able to lift all the way up so there's not that reflection on there when they are trying to project something onto the screen.
And then there's one other issue is when the south hoop, when it goes to lift up, there's a pulley on a beam. Well, the cable misses that pulley by an inch. So then the cable will hit the beam instead of the pulley. So that is an adjustment that they need to make that should have been fixed prior, if that makes sense.
You know, it does, and just to make, this is the same company that originally installed it.
Correct.
And now they're asking us to fix their own mistakes and pay for it.
Yeah.
That usually works.
No, that's, and then my visit with the American Legion, they feel that they need to come back and fix the issue that the Legion paid for. So I would like to make a motion that we send a letter to SP&E, right? With kind of a complaint.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they'll come back and fix the issue.
Because this is the one that we were talking about. I'm sorry, did you just actually make a motion? Or are you just talking about making a motion?
Talk about making a
Okay,
motion.
sounds good. This is the one that we just got fixed, right? Like this is just new. hot off
System.
the
on
press,
it.
right out the oven,
Yep.
okay. And they didn't obviously do it right, like they could understand that there was a projector there and that, you know, theoretically you'd want, if it's pulling it up to go far enough, and then theoretically if there's a cord that's holding up a heavy object, you don't want it rubbing and friction and bursting and all that fun stuff. Yeah, a letter would be very appropriate, I think, or something.
So I will make a motion that the city, since it's our building, that we ask them to fix the air. And then if there's anything above and beyond, then we'll request a quote afterwards. Is that too long of a, does that make sense, Chelsea?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted out in post. So second, just to move to discussion. Has someone directly contacted these individuals? And like, they're just like, that's the way it is.
I called them.
I have spoken to this guy multiple times.
Was he like happy with the work or?
No, it was a crapshoot from the beginning. They had a different guy on the job in the beginning, so it got pushed back because he was gonna weld something in his garage that wasn't being sent by the manufacturer. So this guy tried to come in and make it right and went back to the manufacturer and the engineer so that they didn't have no liability issue with it afterwards. I think he's been very reasonable to work with and has been trying to do the right thing.
Like the owner, the business owner? Or whoever.
He might be I don't know, because it was a different guy that was doing it. And that guy was no longer working that I was dealing with. So then it got pushed back. I don't even know where these people came from. The Legion was the ones that were initially in contact with them. I didn't get the story until I had to figure out what was going on with the hall, so I knew it would be closed when they were coming in here. And then this all happened afterwards. So this guy was kind of thrown into it in the middle of it, and I think tried to do right to make it work. I mean, he did feel bad that it got pushed back. He does feel bad about this.
Chelsea,
So I guess if you want to tell me or draft the letter of what you want it to stay, I can do that.
I can work with Chelsea on that.
Sure.
How much was this quote? If you could refresh my memory.
1890.
Okay. Yeah,
Which I mean, is that, it's still something, you know what I mean, like,
right. And then visiting with the Legion commander on this, they felt they paid for it. And then they feel they're not liable for this fix.
but it is a fix that needed to happen. Cause remember when we went to go over
True.
that projector stuff, it was like, how do we get that up? Oh yeah, you just crank the thing and the gears, yeah, there's issues. So thank you to the Legion for doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can kind of strong arm them a little bit and ask them if they'll warranty it, and if they don't, I guess 1890 isn't poor, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, to get it fixed, if it gets fixed.
We can see where they're at though.
Yeah, even split it with them, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I get it, you guys got, things happen, that sort of thing, but.
I like that pulley being offset by, you know, Adam was there when we raised it and lowered it a couple times, and I go, wait a minute, that cable isn't even, it's missing the pulley, you know? That's an issue right there.
Has that ever been communicated to them prior to this discussion?
I thought we should meet with it and discuss it before we got too far talking
Can
with
we,
the
can we
company.
change
Well,
your
these guys-
motion to a phone call instead of a letter, like have it an open dialogue again with this new information? I think that might be more helpful, cause then it might come off as like a little threatening or whatever, like sending the letter, that could be like step 2 or step 3 or something, I don't know.
Well, these guys are out of Bismarck too, so I
Right.
mean, would they just come up here and could we just meet with them and go over it and just, you know, maybe see if we can work it out? Or
Sure, I mean, that's another option
And
too,
bring it
right?
up for discussion at the next meeting.
Here, I was
Yeah.
thinking these guys are out of Minnesota or something. but-
No, these guys
Oh.
are out of Bismarck.
So if they're, maybe we
I'll
can
make
just,
a motion, or to change,
Or amendment, I guess you could
or
rescind
to
your,
amend my,
or you just rescind it, we can start over.
I'll just rescind it. Yeah,
Yeah, sorry to take, yeah, that just might be easier.
you wanna make the,
Yeah, I make a motion for, Mark to have a discussion, with this individual about this project, see if he wants to come to our meeting, or bring up this new information, and, see what we can do with it, so.
okay, I'll second that. Any more discussion? If not, Keith?
Yes.
yes.
And yes. All right. Just one little point. So, and when they're up here, I want, because I was on a rope rescue team for 25 years, and I went and looked at the engineering of it. I would like an explanation of how they're gonna do a change of direction before we approve anything. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah,
Okay, that's all I have to say.
that'd be reasonable, it could be a safety issue, right?
Part of the discussion, so.
Yeah.
So they don't come and try to do it and then it doesn't work, you know, and then we're still at the same place. All right,
Sorry, motion second to read vote,
oh yeah, I'm sorry,
no, you're fine. Yes.
yes, and yes, thank you for pointing that out. All right, okay. Future parking access road by Boat Dock. Jamie, this is your issue.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit at the last meeting, roughly. This one, if everybody knows what we're talking about, it's that steep road coming up from the boat ramp going up towards like River Egg, stuff like that. So if everybody knows the road, if you've been down it, it's pretty deep. I mean, in the ruts and the crevices on each side. So I guess I'm putting this out there that, you know, we're looking at 3 options. You know, option A is Holland product, rework the road. B, grade existing, I mean, just work with what we have there. C, close the road, you know, just close it, barricade it off, you know. Because I just think it's at the point where you probably don't want people liability wise driving down that road too much. And maybe Eric will talk about, there's kind of a future thought of getting grant money to blacktop curb and gutter, if we can get some kind of grants going, like we have at, the Riverboat Park.
Yeah, Riverside Park Road, we got
Riverside
this
Park.
special road fund grant. So I talked to the guy this last week about how long those funds are good for, because we did get the grant for Riverside Park Road. And that's good through next year's construction season. They're gonna be opening up the grant again this fall. He said it's within the next month, we should see it for
Okay.
that same grant.
Okay,
That they're gonna be accepting applications for again. So we could put in an application for that again, for the other side of the highway, you know, the road you're talking about.
yeah,
So I think that would be a really good, that matches up with that grant really well,
okay,
cause it's supposed to be for outdoor and recreational type, access.
yeah,
Improvements for those types of things, so, you know, I think that would be a really good thing to put that in for it, I mean, we just got the grant for the other side, so does that lessen our chances? Maybe, maybe not, but it'd be a good grant to put in for that.
so I think that would be the long-term fix,
Yeah.
is because, I mean, with the grade and everything and the erosion, I mean, probably would be the long-term fix. So, just looking, like now, short-term fix, you know, like I say, I talked to Chris Truspick, got some numbers for basically six loads of gravel, be approximately $4,500. Potentially putting some rock, you know, on the sides that are really eroded down. You put in some bigger rocks, fill that in, and then put gravel over top of everything. Just a tentative estimate, if you consider the guys' time, if you want to count it or not. I did 40 hours at $150 an hour. So that's our guys' own labor, 6,000, and then basically you got roughly 10 grand in product, you know. So I didn't know which way we wanted to go with this, if we wanted to leave them with the latitude to haul in as minimal amount of product needed to put it back and then grade it,
To put the base back.
to put some base back to that road, put some rock on each side, which I don't know if that shouldn't really take us backward, putting some 2 to 3 inch rock on each side, just. if they-
Especially if you have some big ruts in there, that'd
Yeah.
probably be fine.
So if they come and put curb and gutter, that really shouldn't move us backwards if we get grant funding.
I wouldn't think so.
So, that's where I was looking at that, if we wanna have the guys do that to where they haul in. Chris Truspick hauls it in, these guys install the rock and gravel, so I don't.
And then the other repair was done earlier with the culverts and then cutting of the ditches and stuff up above. So we don't have the water drainage issue like we used to. But we got 15 years of erosion that hasn't been.
You're talking about that retention pond that's at the top by River A?
Right.
That has, and there's some storm sewer that comes down through there?
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely had to have helped that road,
Right.
for sure. I'm not familiar. I know that it exists there, but I'm not familiar with that when it was installed or anything like that.
Right.
But that does drain out by the road that goes to at the
Yep.
bottom of the hill down there.
Yeah.
So there's a outfall to the river for all that storm water, so, you know, if there was to be a project to improve the road, you definitely wanna look at trying to divert some of the water off the paved road, if it was to get paved, into that
Yep.
drainage system.
Yep.
So that would be something to look into. And I'm not sure of the shape of that stuff either, that storm sewer system, but I have seen those big manholes out there.
I believe
Adam
city
unplugged it.
workers went up and unplugged it.
Chris and I went up there to look at how much product does, and then we kinda went up there looking around, we couldn't find the drain. And then got a hold of these guys and they went and found the drain and dug it out.
The area inlet was covered?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was all covered. You could see a high water mark where it almost went over the edge of
Oh,
that.
so you're talking about the inlet that's in that detention pond at the top.
Yep, at the
Okay.
top,
Yeah.
like, should have probably taken a picture, but
Yeah.
you can see the high water mark where it almost went over the side.
Yeah.
Down, so I mean, but they got, did you ever put that sleeve on it?
Mhm.
So raised up that, so I guess if any silt gravel comes down, they'll catch there first, then the water will go over it into that.
Yeah.
So.
I'll make a motion that we purchase the rock and enough gravel to cover the road. And get that done before, this winter.
I don't know if we'll fit in his schedule like that, but
To Chris's.
yeah.
Well,
He's got a PRV, he's got a.
He's got a lot of work for us to do otherwise.
Well,
if,
Sage, could Sage haul it?
I know he's hauling somewhere else right now. I don't, there's more to hauling rock than just, you know, driving. It's the separating and all that sort of stuff, so.
To the best of his ability. Before winter.
Yes, so do we wanna have to the best of his abilities, and if it doesn't get fixed, probably should just close the road, I suppose,
Until spring, yeah.
until spring.
There's really no reason for it to even be there in the winter.
Yeah,
but, so, I got a motion
okay,
What was the motion one more time?
that we approve the material to get that base repaired. And then hopefully it'll get done. If not, we'll close the road for the winter and then get that base repair done come spring.
come spring, so, that sounds fair.
Second, and then I guess, not to be like overly picky, but maybe we shouldn't put the timeline in the motion, cause like, then we can't really tell him to do that, cause there's no set
Right.
contract, so we like, we can ask him to do that, but maybe, make an amendment just to remove the timeline. Would that be okay?
Well,
Or
yeah.
either remove the timeline or have it as ask, cause there's nothing agreed to, you know what I mean?
well, I'm just saying, for discussion, like, I believe Adam, we barricaded off that road during last winter, correct?
Usually we do. There's really no reason for people to go up and down the road, and then
Right.
especially in the spring, it's basically mud, and people like to go up and down it for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is fun.
So,
Okay, so yeah, maybe we could just ask if that's, like, just, make an amendment to the motion just to ask him if that would work out. I don't know if that's too nitpicky or whatever, but see if he gets a second.
I'll second.
Okay.
Your amendment.
So then
Okay.
we'd vote on the amendment if you want,
Yep.
unless there's discussion. Yes,
Any more discussion on the, if not,
yes,
Yes,
yes.
and then back to the actual thing. Yep.
Okay, so, and vote on the motion to approve the material.
Yeah, I have nothing else, no other discussion, I guess.
Gene?
yes,
And yes, all right. All right, we're gonna move on. Pledge of Securities. Chelsea?
We received this from True Community. The Board of Directors for True Community Bank approved the Pledge of Securities at the July 30th, 2025 meeting. The public deposits on June 30th, 2025 were $21,739,532.77, and the total pledged securities were $25,231,714.70. The current value of securities pledged as collateral for deposits as of the quarter end June 30th, 2025 meet the FDIC requirements. And we just have to have this approved.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that. Any more discussion? Keith?
Yes.
yes.
And yes. All right, 2026 budget.
Okay, so we did have our 2026 public hearing. We heard some input on that. If there's anything more that you guys would like to discuss on that, Now would be the time, if we were going to approve it. If we do not approve it tonight, we will need a special meeting, because they are due to the county October 10th. We do not meet until October 13th.
Do we feel we need any more discussion? I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 budget.
Second.
Any more discussion?
And that would be with my two things added in there.
Correct, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all my questions got answered, so Keith?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes. All right. Okay, Jamie, this is another yours, possible future development committee.
Yeah, okay, so with kind of looking at Custer Drive up there and potentially getting grant funding for some of the water drainage coming from out of town, in town, the talks of what if there was a future development got started with Lynn Olberg and the county water board, and just kind of, that's where it started morphing. So just wondering if we want to do 2 tiers of this. I guess if you want to call it future development committees. I have one here as like a tier 1, where we could call like a meet and greet, where Lynn Olberg, Chelsea, and I can just go and see if there's even an opportunity. You know, whether that's with Rainbow or other people, if we can have the latitude that the 3 of us can go, and kind of with less people, you can travel a little more lightly, and you can kind of go there when they're available to meet. So that was my tier 1 proposal, and then discussion on if or when we got anybody wanting to move forward with the development. I was gonna get, you know, who should be on this committee, and then here's where a couple people I thought maybe should be on there, and wanted to open this up to discussion is, you know, obviously the city lawyer, Dave Lindell, city auditor, Chelsea, streets commissioner, myself, say whoever's water and sewer, cause obviously we'll have to get them water and sewer. Superintendent, that's Adam, and, county water board, Lynn Olberg, planning and zoning, I have question mark, and Washburn Life, I have question mark. So just opening it up to your guys' thoughts.
No, definitely good. It would help with some confusion, because I think we were all like, do we have a committee? And then this brought up the whole thing of like, well, you know, because it might be good to have like Mark on there, whoever on there, but then we have a quorum thing with the small commission right now and that sort of stuff. So I guess my main thought is that we probably shouldn't even have a committee until we're ready. So like if you, Lynn, and Chelsea want to go, that's fine, but we don't necessarily need an official committee unless you're gonna be making official decisions. Because then if it's official committee, not that it's a bad thing, but then it's on open record and all this other sort of stuff, which is fine. But kind of like with the water projects, all that other sort of stuff, these people would go meet with Garrison Diversion, go over here. It wasn't necessarily a set committee, but it was the water commissioner going. You know what I mean? Chelsea would go sometimes, or whoever, the mayor would go, however that would go, right? So I think maybe instead of tier 1, tier 2, just a tier 1 when we're ready. And then for now, kind of just get a lot of the groundwork laid, get the feelers out there, that sort of stuff. One of the main reasons, just because we're kind of in a weird spot with like a smaller commission too, you know, because it might be helpful to have both water and sewer when things start getting pretty serious, you know.
Yeah, so like on the tier 1, would it be okay if Lynn, Chelsea, and I went to meet with these people? And then just, if Lynn, and I think we really do need Lynn, he's been on a lot of boards, he knows how this stuff works. I think he'll be very instrumental to any of these meetings. So If we can maybe approve that tonight, or just have an understanding that that's who's gonna go meet with those people, if possible.
Yeah, I think the first thing I would do would be to dissolve the other committee. Because there was another committee, there was that, this house buying thing, okay, well then let's just move that over. So I guess I would make a motion to dissolve that previous committee, any sort of idea, because there was some confusion if that even exists or not, which I was there, it existed, we put people on it, but I would just make a motion to dissolve that previous committee.
I'll second that motion. Is there any more discussion? Keith?
Yes.
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 And then your second part is you're wondering if just had like good graces of the committee, where did it go? Sure. What is it, a committee? I don't know, does it need to be a committee? It can be, if you want it to be.
Yeah, well, I think,
I think it's just, or because if they get an invite,
Mm-hmm.
so it's representatives
Sure.
instead of committee?
That'd be fine, I guess.
Is, what's the clarification between calling it a committee to representatives? Because if they're, get invited, they're, you know what I mean? Then they are representing the city
Yeah, I'm just kind of in
without it being a,
I'm just kind of in the thought of like, it doesn't have to be an official anything at this time. Like, for example, like back when we did the park board thing and we actually formed a joint committee, right?
Right.
So that was a joint committee, that was the two kind of together. I think for right now, like on record, yeah, motion for you guys to go do that, but doesn't need to be an official committee or anything like that. I would say no, because we do stuff like that in our portfolios all the time of like, okay, I'm gonna go over here, he's gonna go talk to the gentleman about, or you've already talked to the gentleman about the crane thing, all that,
well, it's in my portfolio.
Right, exactly. So I think this would be relevant to your portfolio to a degree with streets, obviously, so. Go for it. I make a motion for you to go for it. I think, it's just kind of weird for me, because then we make a committee and then you're open to open record laws then.
yeah,
Not that I'm trying to like fully avoid those, but are we at that point yet?
well,
Okay,
and
That's
that's
what I'm
where I
saying.
think,
that's a good point.
We are not.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, because then it's like,
yeah,
because right here, like, let's get someone from Washburn Light, planning, zoning, that's the time. Okay, committee, everyone together sort of thing,
and so that's why I just, tier one, just wanted to travel light, really not a committee, just we get an invite to go meet with them again, then we can go and then
Yes.
just be cordial and just see what's available.
I make a motion for Jamie to go gather more information on this stuff with Chelsea and Lynn if he so chooses.
I'll second that motion. Well put. Any more discussion? Keith?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Street repair, rentals and material for spring 2026.
You wanna talk about this, or you want?
Yeah, I can. I don't have any of the things.
Right here.
So,
And then here, that one, if you have it on your deal.
That's right.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it didn't have all that.
So this year we did new type of tarring with equipment and material from Mid-States Equipment and Supply. We really like the equipment and the material. We're kind of, it's held up well over the summer. We're kind of waiting to see how it holds up over the winter before we do any long-term planning with this stuff. But we've ever since we had discussions about using this tarring material, we also talked about doing a different type of material called a mastic, which is, to put it simply, if you're going over a crack in the road and you can feel it, what this mask will do is it'll fill that spot in, so you won't feel the bump as dramatically anymore. And since we're kind of in the phase of like trying new stuff, I figure, well, next year we've got a bunch of spots that could use this. So I got a quote here for a mastic melter machine. That quote was $18,840, includes delivery and pickup. And Also the material for 18,330 plus 2,598.75 for the primer for the material. And the material itself is same thing is that we to keep the shipping relatively cheap, we buy half a truckload. Okay, so that'll last us for 2 years. We don't plan on using doing a mastic process every year. So we'd actually use next year we'd use half this product and then save it for like 2-3 years down the road. It's protected in that way, so it does last that long. And I actually don't have the quote here, so I'm going to ask for an additional allowance to actually also rent the crack sealing machine to use the rest of the material we had from this year.
rental right here, that 250 gallon mastic melter rental.
Yep.
11,840.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the crack sealing machine.
Oh,
So
was that
we do need to also rent that for next year
that
as
was
well.
like 9 or 10, right?
It's probably comparable. Yeah, I would ask, just to kind of pre-do this, ask for like an amount not to exceed 12,000 for that. And then, you know, what we see over the winter, and how this material holds up, and then we'll do long-term planning with this, whether it's buying a machine and not renting year over year. But we're not quite at that phase yet. We're just at the phase of trying out new materials and new equipment. So
I have a question on the
Yes.
mastic.
Yep.
So how wide will that fill that void, that bump?
about like this,
6 inches
essentially.
approximately?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, to back up a little bit, that crack filler we got this year that we're
That we
trying out,
used, yeah, this year.
and then if you ever wanna know anything, Jerry, the salesman, he is very informative. He'll probably be on the phone for 2 hours.
Yeah, he's a salesman, so he
Very-
likes to talk. Yeah.
Very nice guy, but very informative. So if you have any questions, he will definitely let you know. But one thing he did tell me is, like with that Maxwell product we used last year, you really don't want to be using that cracked filler on anything 3/4 inch or wider. You know, you want to be 3/4 inch or smaller with the product we used last year. So that's really just a crack filler. Where
okay.
this mastic goes 3/4 inch and wider.
The wider.
So
Yeah, I like the idea of this mastic.
Yeah, and like I said, we're kind of in a trial phase of using this company and this equipment and we have a use for it, so I mean, why not give it a shot?
So you're asking for approval?
I'm asking for approval for the renting of the mastic machine, the purchase of the mastic material and primer, and also the rental of the crack sealing machine.
What was the number you said earlier?
For the crack sealer?
Yeah.
Not to exceed like 12,000. It shouldn't be more than that. I don't remember what it was last year, but I just forgot to get the quote for it.
And I'm just wondering if that should be included in the motion because it's not in the invoices
Yeah.
or whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll try. What's the machine called? What was it again?
So we've got a mastic melter.
And that's one that's not to exceed 12,000.
Nope, that's this one.
Okay, which
This
one's
is the one we
not to
have the
exceed
quote. That's the
12,000?
crack filling machine.
Okay.
Just call it that.
I make a motion to approve these invoices and then also a crack filling machine rental not to exceed 12,000. Okay, thank you.
I'll second that motion. Discussion?
just to clarify, kind of add it all up, with the rental and the product, it's gonna be ballpark 32,768. So I don't know if we need to add that in or not, or just.
I don't think so. I think it's all broke down and.
Would it add up with all the invoices plus the 12,000?
Well, I added that, gap primer, the Maxwell product itself, or the, and then the rental, that brought me up to $32,768.
That's the invoice prices, not that extra machine, right?
Well, no, that,
No, that's,
that should
Oh,
be
that
the-
is with that.
yeah.
That should be
Oh,
the,
your motion
So it covered that,
clarified
okay.
that.
Sure, okay.
so,
I don't think we have to actually
Yeah.
state the
Yeah, 'cause what
numbers.
happens if the, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay.
Yeah. While we're under question, I think it's really good that we're spending this money wisely on our infrastructure, on our streets like this, on a proven product. So that's all I have to
Well,
say.
just maintenance wise, because like we've talked about, like
Yeah.
these big street projects coming up, so now
Yeah.
the time is now to maintain what we have.
Exactly.
Get what we don't have, maintain it all, or else we'll just be like this. Well, then here's this
Yeah.
other one, you know, it sneaks up
And
there.
especially like, I've talked to Eric, you know, if we're gonna do future, chip sealing, we need to take care of these issues now,
Okay.
so.
Is there any training that they provide Adam? for-
They do. Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay, is there any more questions? If not,
I guess.
Jamie?
no, that's what I got, so,
No, we're voting.
oh, yes, sorry, yes.
No, that's fine. Yes as well. All right, thank you. All right, okay, Riverside Road improvements.
Alright. Well, good evening, everybody. I talked to Jamie on the phone a little bit, about this. And he had a couple questions and we're, going on about it a little bit, but, we presented the cost to do, the Riverside Park Road improvements. That's the special road funds grant that the city has right now. That grant is for $214,800. It's a 60-40 grant. So the city has to match 40% of the funds up to that amount. The last map that we looked at, the last plan, you know, kind of a very preliminary plan was to add some curb and gutter and some storm sewer to Riverside Park Road to kind of get that water off the road that we feel is contributing to the slides that's on Riverside Park Road. Jamie asked me to separate out costs based off the last estimate of doing any curb and gutter and storm sewer. So that's what this page is in your packet. So basically looking at it, the construction subtotal, you know, we're looking at about $106,000 to do just the base repairs to the slope and fixing the road where the road has kind of like busted up and kind of fallen a little bit. So that would be at a minimum, I would say, would be good to do that. The total below that for construction cost, that would be adding in, doing a whole bunch of, I say a whole bunch of, but it's listed out the amounts. About 420 feet of curb and gutter, 145 feet of mountable curb, and then some valley gutter, and then some storm sewer. That construction cost is about $185,000. So looking at this, if you were to do both of those, you could fully utilize that grant. Now, the city would have to pay 40% of the cost, right? But you'd be able to fully utilize the grant that you have. And one thing that Jamie asked that we could do is like, hey, can we do an alternate bid? So you have a base bid and an alternate bid. Do a base bid for that, the basic repairs that we wanna do. And then an alternate bid would be the storm sewer and the curb and gutter. And if bids come back really good, then you could choose to say, yep, we accept both the base and the alternate bid. If bids are not so good, then you say, okay, we'll do the base bid.
Yep.
So if that's something the city was interested in doing, what we would do is put together the actual plans and specs for this work and bid it next spring. Talking to the DOT, they say that these funds are usable all the way through next year's construction season, so we'd be fine there. And he said there's probably some wiggle room for years after that, but the reason why he's kind of hesitant but saying past that is they're opening up another grant window for this same program, because this program is going to continue. This is a newer type of program, and that's where I was like, I want to apply for the city for that, the other road that we were talking about earlier on the other side of the highway, that we could apply for. So he put a little bit of pressure on, like, hey, you probably want to make sure that this money that's allocated to the city, let's try to get that used if you're going to use it next year. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So is there any questions you guys have on what we're trying to accomplish on Riverside Park Road, or, you know, we've been looking at this one for a little while, but.
You've made it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Jamie, this
Yeah.
is kind of your,
Yeah, the only thing is, I don't know if you got time, Eric, to work on it. I totally agree with the first upper part.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if we wanna kind of, on that alternate, the drainage improvements,
Mm-hmm.
if we maybe wanna work together to cut some of that out of there, like, I'm kinda wondering if we don't wanna look at more, maybe some of the curb and gutter, and then maybe, I think you've said this yourself when we actually first looked at it, like, that storm drain, under, maybe we could cut some of that out, or maybe to chisel down the drainage
Yeah,
secondary.
are you talking like to have like one crossing under the road, or do something different with,
Yeah.
with how much storm sewer we have?
Yeah, I was wondering if we wanted to relook at that,
We could
And
we
this-
could look at it.
kinda
Um,
get it closer to that
Yeah.
240 range.
Yeah, yeah, we could look at that. So you're wanting to reduce the cost of the storm sewer a little bit,
Yeah, you know, I
like the
don't,
amount that's in there.
and Adam, is this something you wanna look at down there with us
We can, yep.
when we go? So maybe the three of us could go down there and just rehash out the drainage part of it.
Yeah,
And
and
then-
part of the design, part of the, you know, like our engineering costs would be looking at getting some survey, so we can, cause everything I'm doing is all, preliminary, you know,
Right.
based off of what we can observe.
See, yeah.
So if we have better data, we'll be able to put a better final design, that's why there's a bunch of contingency built into this.
Sure.
So, you know, I don't wanna tell you to go build something that I don't think is gonna work, so, but yeah, we can go look at it, again, and kind of see like maybe where we can, you know, cut some stuff back, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I can't see how we could change the original, the road slope improvement, that's kinda what it is, right?
Right.
And then, but we could maybe relook at the drainage part of it,
Yeah,
and then,
and like I said, it depends on how bids come back too, you know. You could get some really good bids, you could get some higher bids,
sure.
but at a minimum, you know, in the areas where the slope is slid, you'll wanna, you know, set that slope, build it back up to lessen, take some of that steepness out of it.
Yeah.
And probably take some of those trees out, and then, you know, saw cut some asphalt out of there and repave it, would be good, at a minimum. So, you know, you could utilize as much of that ground as possible, at least on that stuff, so.
Yeah.
And in this, the way that it's set up right now, I don't have it, I have it maximizing the loan, or not the loan, the grant, but not going beyond that, so, you know,
Gotcha.
so you wouldn't go beyond the amount of grant that you guys have allocated to you for what we the cost estimate is. Cause remember, it's 60/40, so,
40, right.
but the more that you use of it, obviously the more the city will pay too, cause again, it's a 60/40 match, so.
You get extra value on your dollars.
Yeah, if you maximize the grant out, and that's conservatively, that's what I try to do to the best of my ability is like, hey, if we're gonna make this much improvements, you know, it's gonna cost, you know, if you're adding up the total, we're at 216 to the city, but you would get, you know, 214,000 discounted off from that grant, so.
Any cost savings you try and do wouldn't seem as much as they are because you're losing
Yeah.
that amount of money.
Yeah. So it just, but if you don't think it's worth the improvements, then you shouldn't do them.
Sure.
You know, so
That
it's-
does make sense. But does it like, so if we're gonna cut something, like, would it be something that would cut longevity or something like that? Or, you know what I mean? Cause then there's value there as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely value, I think, in trying to get that water off the road, and that's the intention of the curb and gutter and that valley gutter in the storm catch basins, and that's where it gets expensive. You know, I'm looking at 6 storm sewer inlets, you know, $7 grand a piece. That's $42,000 right there. They're not cheap. Storm sewer pipe's not cheap either. So you know, you got 225 feet of 18-inch storm sewer pipe. You know, and 2 outfalls. So that's where that adds up a little bit quicker. But those drainage improvements can be kind of on the more spendy side.
can you explain to me, so on this information, the drainage that's coming off the hill,
Mhm.
and then that small pipe that goes underneath the walking trail, and then that water is being diverted down to that area,
Yeah,
how
so
that's gonna be taken
the
care of?
the area, the pipe that you're referring to is just up the hill from the riverboat, right?
Well, it's by the
Yeah.
bathrooms. Remember, there's,
Oh,
that
yeah.
whole
Okay,
hillside is drained.
Yes, yes, so by the park and the bathrooms.
Yep.
That whole hillside drains down and it has, all the water that comes off the hill has to cross Riverside Park Road. Yes. So there's some areas where it's a little more concentrated, but in general, water, and we don't know if there's a, like a seam or a spring that's coming out of the hill either. But it seems to, and you live up there,
Yeah.
it seems that when they get a rain, that water continues to come across even after the rain stops for quite some time. So yes,
just,
that's gonna
The
have an
ground
impact.
soaks it up, but then it
Yeah.
just settles.
Yep, and the wetter year you have, it's gonna cause it to come, settle bit by bit more and more. So it's just adding that some of the drainage in there, it basically would be across that area where by the park, we would have some kind of valley gutter and some inlets, and that would catch that water before it had to get onto and cross the road.
The other spot, and Adam can share in this, is on First Avenue, that drain catch by June Sims. And then that drains then down by
Yeah.
kinda,
Um,
where it drains into that rock
Yeah.
base?
mhm.
Is that, do you think there's an issue there?
I guess I've never really walked it and see where that water goes in the end. I'd have to do that.
Where the plug is for the water going to the bathrooms? That's where that, where you, the low spot, where you pull the plug out? When
Oh,
you-
yeah,
When you
okay,
charge
yes.
the system?
Yep.
So just to the left there
Okay.
is where that culvert drains into that hillside. Something to look at.
So if I may ask, there might possibly be a spring in the hill. There's
Uh,
like a water spring? No,
I
so-
don't, yeah, I don't know.
But what
that
I'm
for
saying
sure.
is like, that's a lot of water, right? Like that,
Yeah.
there's not a good place to put a road. Like coming down the hill, you got all this snow, you got all this rain. Then possibly in the hill, you have other water source, and then next to it,
yeah,
there's
there-
a river causing a road.
There
Actually-
could be. I don't know that for
Interesting.
sure. So it's
Actually, I believe I've walked it, there's a spring down by the river
Oh.
that trickles all the time, but not out through the hillside.
So, I mean, if we're gonna do a road, it'd be best to do like highest quality water, get it away sort of thing,
Yeah.
right? Because if we just did like, I don't know, if we just did a basic one, they had
Band-Aid.
that many
Yeah.
sources of water's bad for roads. Yeah.
yes.
So yeah.
So
I don't know.
I mean, if you want to go back further on the history of this, like we looked at doing a geotechnical study and installing equipment that would kind of tell us where the water table is, where the sliding planes, plural or singular, might be, and what depth they are, and that would give us a better idea on what would have to actually be the work that have to be done to make the road last longer than what it might. The thing is and I've said this statement before, but when you have a road alongside a riverbank, it's going to erode, it's going to slip, and it's going to slide a little bit. And typically, that depends. The amount that it does move is dependent upon how much water you have that year, how wet of a year you've had. And we've had years where that road's moved a lot more, and we have times where it's not moved as much. So you just know it's going to. You just don't know how much and how quickly. So. This grant's a good opportunity to improve the road the way it is right now. So,
That geotech, that would take that money that we're gonna invest in here just on that, and then.
well,
No, that's
remember the
completely out of
geotech,
pocket. That doesn't cover it.
Well, yeah,
the
that's right.
engineering study, that was
Well, yeah,
not,
that's what I mean,
Yeah.
but just the cost wise,
Yeah.
cause that's like, what, 78,000
well,
approximately?
back when we had the quote for that from Terracon and Brown Intertech, they were up at 70,000 for those.
Yeah.
And that would take about a
it
year.
might go up now, you know.
Oh, I guarantee it's higher now.
Yeah.
So, and getting the results for that would take a little bit of time too. You know, they would install our equipment for about a year, and then they would gather all their data and write a report on it and have recommendations on what should be done.
So can you, Adam and Jamie, look at this again and look at all these other,
Sure.
to make sure we have all the bases covered? And then come up with the best.
We have looked at it quite a bit.
Yeah.
But you guys talked about going down there one more time just to kind of look it over,
Yeah.
or isn't that?
I mean,
can.
I'm totally fine on the road and slope improvements,
Okay.
what he's got there. The only thing I was just saying is, you know, that's, you and I met with him,
Mhm.
that one evening after a city commission meeting, and the only thing I wanna look at is if there's anything we wanna dial back on the drainage improvement. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
So,
we can look.
I just want to clarify.
And it might seem like a silly question, but the drainage improvement obviously does not help with the river erosion because that's from underneath, right? Like there's no benefit. If that's the primary culprit, having that's gonna be.
The drainage improvement is to mitigate the erosion from all the water that's running off above the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but if it's primarily a river issue, then the drain improvement would do
Yeah,
nothing.
the river-
because it's
the river-
so expensive road.
I don't believe that the river is causing the sliding that's happening where next to the road.
Okay.
This is all water that's either in the ground or surface runoff that's causing the slope to deform like it is.
Okay, then I think the drainage would be a good idea, I guess, that's where
Yeah.
I'd be at, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, the second part is we were looking at just topographically, you know, like all the water that kinda comes down that area, it all runs over the road to get to the river.
Mhm.
And so we were just looking at maybe some curb and gutter, storm drain, / having it right alongside the road, go under the road, go out to the river, never touch the road.
Yeah.
Or just stay away from the road. So,
This is a diagram that I showed you guys before, that this was my conceptual design of adding curb and gutter here. And then inlets to get it out here, this is where that parking area is, and then we would have, and the water drains across the road here. You get it into a valley gutter here, cause you still gotta have a road here. And then you would get a couple inlets here, and they'll kick it out here. So it's very conceptual design, but all these costs, that's what you're seeing on this bottom one, is all this footage of curb, valley gutter, and all these inlets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 on there, 5 or 6 of them, but, there was a pipe we wanted to fix up there, so, that's what that is. Is what I propose, but.
And then this pipe that he's talking about, that's over here under the road.
Yep.
That might be causing some of the water leaching as well, because it wasn't going into the culvert. It was,
Yeah, and
Because of the
I can't
separation.
definitively say that, one way or the other, but it
Could have been one of the
contribute it to it, yes,
contributing
correct, yeah.
issues, yeah.
yeah, I got one here, but yeah, so.
We can go look at it, Jamie, that's
And
fine.
that's where, yeah, cause like,
Do you need a motion soon, move
So,
forward?
so I guess on this one, I don't have a task order for you guys, that's,
Okay.
what I would do next is I would prepare a task order to do design,
Okay.
design on this, and that would involve survey and drawings. Like,
Oh, okay.
this is just a,
Great.
that's a
Okay.
conceptual sketch, so
Okay,
that's nothing, that we would use for an actual project, so, that's what I would come with next, if this is something that you guys are interested in doing. And
Okay.
knowing that this is what my preliminary cost would be at this point. Like I said, I do have some contingency built in there, like I always do, and where I see it right now, utilize the full amount of that grant.
okay, sounds
You
good.
know, but, you know, if that's something you want me to have for next meeting or the meeting after that, then I can do that. We'd have the winter to design it and the spring to bid it, and then next year to construct it.
yeah,
That would be the plan.
yeah, cause we wanna do it next summer, right?
I would recommend that, yes.
And so to work, we need to get a bid out, design and bid out over this winter, so,
Yep,
and then.
Yeah.
So, don't know if we wanna give ourselves one more meeting, we kinda go over the drainage one more time, and then if we fine with that, we basically, issue a task order to him to start working on getting a bid out,
Yeah.
so, design and bid out, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we're gonna move on to, 23, E2S update.
Okay, I sent you guys a few emails on Aztec. That's the contractor that's doing the, Aztec stands for Asphalt Surface Technologies. They were the winning bidder for the seal coat project in town. It's a fairly large seal coat project. They've ran into some issues, I think I said it in the email, but with personnel, where they just get into the end of the year, burnout, college students going back to school. And then they just had a little bit more rain this year than they would like for them anyway. So they're behind. And they were supposed to start tomorrow, but now it's gonna be next week Tuesday, so that's the update there. So as soon as I hear anything new on that, I'll let you guys know. I don't wanna tell you too much and then it change all the time, but also I wanna keep you updated.
but they're
So, 'cause
physically in
it's-
town, so.
Well, they're in town and
In the
they're in
area.
McLean County, they're in the area, yes.
So,
So I know that they're gonna get here. He's like, I absolutely will get this done. I just hope that the rain can hold off for them so that they can get their work done and get to where they need to be, so.
Is there a temperature issue?
It should be 70 degrees. That's what our specs call for them to do the seal
Yeah.
coating. And
Okay.
this last week, it was pretty chilly.
Yeah.
You know, so I wouldn't even allow them to do it anyway.
Mhm.
Or if they would have done it, I would have said, well, now you gotta go redo it because
Yeah.
you didn't have the right temperatures. So that's gonna become more and more of an issue.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was.
so yeah, so we'll watch that, but next week, this week's looking good, I was hoping we'd get it done this week. Next week's looking decent too, but I know we do have some rain that's probably gonna happen in between there, so.
Okay.
But I'll let you know as soon as I have better information for you guys on that. Talked to, Trespec on the PRV vault. He's waiting on the precast concrete vault supplier. Just kind of a difficult situation there, with it. It's now expected to be the end of this month, when that gets here. The work could still be accomplished. From what I understand, all of the other material besides the vault is ready to go. I don't know that Chris has it on site yet, but I've been told that it's ready to go. So as soon as I have better information on that, or you guys can talk to Chris yourself, because I know everyone knows him, I'll let you guys know if I hear some updates there, but we really wanna get that one done here. So, little struggles there, but we'll get it. Next thing I have on there is the street and drain improvements. So we have a catchment model that we developed for helping show some of the flooding and damage for Heritage Heights I'm talking about now, for the drainage improvements up there. Kind of area you're talking about
Yeah.
for doing an expansion.
Yep, yep.
So we're working on that. That's gonna help us with our economic analysis that we have to do, for our funding application. So just some steps there to get the funding from Department of Water Resources for that project. I know we're teaming with Lynn, and Shannon on that. So more to follow on that. The application is due in December, so I fully expect to have that submitted on time to get that funding. And again, it's an application, so that all works out, but, I gave you guys a copy of Abby's Flex Fund application. So this Flex Fund, we did not get that last year for the Heritage Heights street improvements up there. I'm more hopeful that, we revised our grant application, gave them a little more information. Now we're submitting it the second time and telling them, the city's really needs this, that they have more business coming to town, they have, economic development, they have people, they wanna make sure they have housing for people coming into town for all this work and industry that we see coming. There was gentleman, the state's attorney that talked about this the other meeting, you know, a little bit. So we, and the state knows that too. So, you know, we're, wanna be prepared. And so we're just hopeful that this flex fund will work out and we can get some money. Some small communities last year got some pretty good money for doing some street improvements. So if we can get that, I think it would be very good momentum to get those streets fixed up there. So, more to follow on that. Abby will have this submitted. I guess the only thing I ask of you guys is if there's anything, that you have for comments on this application, let us know. Otherwise, Abby said that she has everything she needs to get it submitted and she'll do that on the city's behalf. One of the questions she did ask me is on that second page, local funds. I know the city has in the past put down sales tax, or prairie dog funds or whatever the city might do for local funds. If there is something that you guys wanna do that you know of, just let us know. It's not that big of a deal, but just, that's one thing we didn't have like a definitive yes or no on, I don't think.
I did talk to her after our meeting last Friday too. And the city will be receiving a monthly payment, kind of like the prairie dog funding.
Yeah.
This month we received 37,000.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to dwindle or get a little bit less the coming months. But I thought maybe that 37,000 could at least, or some of that, if we 2 months, whatever it could be,
Yeah.
possibly apply to this.
Yep, that would be great.
So.
And I understand that that's state funds that all small or communities that are not oil producing communities get. It's a state fund.
Correct.
I don't know the name of it, but
I can't remember what it was either
Abby's
too.
got it
Yeah.
on lock too, but as long as you guys have talked about it, then that's a good little extra to be able to put in there if we're gonna be able to fix those roads, so. Yeah, so unless there's anything that you guys have on that, you know, that packet that Abby has shows the roads that we would be looking at trying to fix. It's like Custer Drive, Dakota Drive, a little piece of Dakota Drive, and then Heritage Drive. So that would tie in really good to if development was gonna happen up there, help get that road fixed. And I had an updated cost estimate for that, and this was, you know, we broke out the drainage cost, I broke out the street costs for it.
Right.
So now we've like sliced and diced that Heritage Heights, street and drainage improvements, but hey, if it gives us a better chance of getting that grant funding, that would be amazing. So that would really help out, for that up there. So like I said, we're hopeful that that'll work out. So any questions on that?
And that this flex is for the road construction itself. Yeah.
The Flex Fund grant is
Yeah.
for just streets.
Just
So that's why I took out all the
Gotcha.
drainage, but we're
Yeah,
hoping to get DWR funding for the drainage, so
Yes.
if that can
Yeah.
work out, and then we can help get some synergy or match from, McLean County Water Board and potentially Rainbow, if you guys,
Yeah.
you and Lynn and Chelsea are successful talking to them, that would be great. Cause you know, those are the people that are gonna be wanting workers here for their economic development and their business growth. So it makes sense if they try to help the city out, prepare for those employees that they wanna bring here, so. Alright, so that's that one. The next one is the lead and copper revision rule, technical assistance. I've been hammering on this one for a while with you guys, trying not to beat a dead horse on it, but you know, we had the category A assistance last year, that was our initial inventory. This is an EPA requirement that they pushed down on the state Department of Environmental Quality, that every public water system has to have a service line inventory completed. You have to tell them, we have this many service lines, this many are known, this many are unknown, this many are lead, so on and so forth, right? So the category B assistance was state funds that would have helped cities update, public water systems update their service line inventory. And with the new requirements, new information that lead and copper rule improvements came out with, which is another form of regulation after the LCRR, and it would pay for that inventory update, and survey and door-to-door work. Adam and his crew have been doing a great job. I just wanted to say hats off to Adam on collecting a lot of information on service lines since the last year's effort. What we would like to do, and this is that task order 20, and I know it's the next agenda item and we can hit it later, but we want to help out Adam with the inventory submission because it's a new spreadsheet and it's the state portal and they have things on there with connectors now with LCRI, and we want to make sure that we have everything on last year's map explainable to what's on this year's map, and there's the updates that have to happen a certain way. The GIS team that I work with, that A2S has, that works doing a lot of the work on this stuff, we do a lot of these for other communities. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to get the Category B funding. The Category B funding went to all the small communities in North Dakota first this year, and I fully expect that the state's gonna have that Category B funding for Washburn eventually. I just don't know when. I wanted to have it like 3 months ago. So this is why I didn't really have like a, task order for you guys to do this work for you, because I wanted to do the work through the state rather than have it with you guys, but, so it wouldn't cost the city any money. But this, that's what that's for. It's to get the this year's inventory. The inventory has to be submitted every year, along with the notification letters that Chelsea and her staff did last year to anyone who has a service line that's unknown, lead, or galvanized requiring replacement. So that's, the inventory is due October 17th. The notification letters are due November 15th. So I know Chelsea's got that one marked on her calendar. I expect the Category B funds to come again. Like I said, we would still try to get to do that work with the state to help you guys with your inventory next year, but this would be getting it done for this year. I'm talking a lot here, but the other thing is there's 66% loan forgiveness through SRF, and I talked to Adam a little bit about this, but that money can be used for anything lead. But I've been having a lot of trouble getting the facility plan approved with other clients I've worked for, because the state and the SHPO do an extensive review on everything. So it took me they've been taking us about a year to get approval of those funds. And we can do that for you guys too. It would be good to be used, it could be used for inventory stuff in next year or future years, but it also could be used for lead service line replacement. And 66% loan forgiveness. So a lot of stuff in play there.
Sure.
But is there any questions on the lead and copper stuff? The big thing that I want you guys to see, to notice is that, or to know, is that the inventory has to be submitted every year, updated and submitted every year, and the notification letters have to be submitted every year. So this is just helping with the city's requirement for this year.
And we need approval.
Yeah, so the item that you added to the agenda is task order 20, and that would give approval from the GIS team to work with Adam and Chelsea to get the inventory spreadsheet downloaded, updated with all the data we have, and submit it back up before October 17th.
Do you wanna do that now or after your update?
We can, whichever. I don't wanna jump out of your order.
Should we make task order 20?
Task order 20, yeah.
Should we make a motion to accept task order 20 from A2S?
Second. Any more discussion? If not, Keith?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, I'll get.
Is there anything I have to sign?
Yeah, I got a couple here for you, just like the last one we did.
Okay.
And I'll get those, well, I can send them to you now, I guess, but
I'll sign them right after the meeting.
yeah. I got two so that I can bring one back, and then you can give one to Chelsea for her.
Let's just set it right
Okay,
there.
perfect.
All right. What else you
All
got for us?
All right, trying to move right along here. Riverside Park Road, we discussed that one already, cause that was on there. So we're good there. Special assessment items, so what you see there is what you get. I know that Chelsea knows better than I do, and Abby was just here on Friday, on the 5th. The big update from there is the SAC public hearing, the Special Assessment Commission. Public hearing date is set for September 22nd at 6:30. So if you have any questions on that, Chelsea should be able to answer them, or Abby could, I can bring them back to Abby if you guys have questions on that. And,
Chelsea, is that meeting gonna be held here?
It'll be at the Memorial Building.
Okay.
I have that in my update.
And just to emphasize, how this is done will impact the policy, right? So like however this is done, that's gonna flow into how the policy for the future.
I understand that they're updating the policy and they're trying to get the special assessments approved from the 2023 project.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, Dave has the policy kind of right now that Abby has drafted looking over.
So the reason I say that is just to emphasize the importance that if people want input on how special assessments are done in the future, this would be the meeting to come to. It's simply, because if there's a policy going forward, it's gonna set precedent.
Yeah.
For like actual written precedent, not like, well, they did this sort of thing, yeah.
And everything that I've gathered, there's been a lot of thought and effort and public feedback that's been gone on to this, so.
The policy won't be brought up at that meeting though,
Oh, right, okay, so will that be a
because
separate
this
one
is
then?
just the public hearing for our special assessments.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
sorry, that's what I mean, it's because, yeah, that's what I mean, so it
Okay.
will float, not the policy, but that meeting will float into the policy and already has floated into the policy. So if there's any issues before the policy is actually finished, they should be brought to light as soon as possible, is all I'm saying. It's not, please don't come and talk about the policy, but just know this meeting will be important because it's gonna shape the future, in a way.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying, so.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
So is Abby working with them now or not so much with, the special assessment committee now?
yes,
Yeah.
Abby was just at our meeting on Friday, and I guess I do have that as part of my portfolio
Oh,
update, so.
We'll hear about that, okay. Gotcha.
And the last thing that I have on my long sheet is that boat ramp road, but we already talked about that, and that special road funds grant that we have for Riverside Park Road. My plan is to apply for that grant when that grant period opens up, and that's this fall, like it should be in the next month. So I wanna try to get some grant funding for that, if we can, so.
Okay.
Just for technical issues, Boat Ramp Road is actual a physical road that we have.
Okay.
So that's why we were calling this the access road, just to
Okay.
not confuse people.
Okay, so it'll be special roads funds grant for boat ramp access road, is that what you said?
That'll work, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Boat Ramp Road is an actual road, so just not to confuse
On the
people.
other side of the
Yeah,
highway.
yeah.
That's paved.
That's paved.
So that's why I kinda changed your wording on there, Jamie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay, thank you guys.
thank you. Portfolios. Keith?
Nothing at this time, no.
Gene?
Oh, I do have one thing. I had a citizen ask me, and I was gonna get you guys' input. You know, if you're coming from, say Bismarck, going that way on 83, the speed limit doesn't slow you down until you're almost, say, like to the John Deere turnoff. They were making comment that, do we wanna look into seeing if we want the speed limit to slow down before the access to Main Avenue down here? You know how the speed limit signs kind of like almost back up the
I
hill?
think that's up to the state more, isn't it, Adam?
It's nothing we can change, yeah.
Is it anything you'd want me to reach out to the state and ask about?
I haven't really thought about it, I guess.
I haven't either.
Do you think that would originally be some input from the city or just the recognition that there's a city there, right? I mean, it's not random, right? So you think that the city would have some sort of input? Maybe. It's obviously their decision, but.
We got a question on the floor for the subject.
With the new church there at
Oh.
Turning.
Yeah.
It actually is very dangerous when we're trying sometimes
Oh.
to get there, because there's so many people, and when it backs up to that
Turning,
turn
yeah.
lane, then you have people that are, cause that's right where they're.
I noticed that on Sunday, there was like 10 vehicles within 1 minute were all turning there.
Yeah,
So
So
it's
that
almost
might
like
be
when
a
there's a
good
funeral or something going up to
Yeah.
the cemetery, you get all this
too.
congested traffic. Yeah,
We
that's
noticed it.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
cause it's
Thank
changed.
you for bringing that up. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to look at it.
Just ask.
Yeah, we had a citizen ask about that, so if you guys are okay, I might reach out to the state and to see if that would be
Sure.
anything that would.
Yeah, I don't think we need a motion on that.
Seems very worthwhile for sure.
That's it.
That's what I got.
The only thing I have is the issue with the basketball hoop cable system that we're gonna try to address. Besides that, I guess it'd be under Adam, but, no, that's all I have. So, new business, we don't have anything manager portfolio, so, report from city personnel. Who wants to go first?
Okay, just a reminder that boats, trucks, trailers cannot be parked, in the streets, even if it's a dead end. So if you can please clean that up. We've had some spottings and some people mentioning that we have roosters in town. You can have chickens, but you cannot have roosters. So just to clarify that. We are having a special election on December 2nd. Petitions need to be turned in by 4 p.m. on September 30th. And you need 40 signatures to be able to run. Like Eric had mentioned, the Seal Coat project was put off now until next Tuesday. So if you see in the cones around town and they're picked up, that's why. I will be posting a map on the city website and on Facebook to see the areas of where that Seal Coat project will be taking place. So if you can please not park your vehicle on the street, that'll be greatly appreciated, or they probably will tow it. Along with the special assessment committee's hearing, the public hearing will be September 22nd, 6:30 p.m. That will be over at the Memorial Building. The new numbers will be published in the paper this week and next week, and I will also get those uploaded to the website this week too. And just a reminder that cleanup week is right around the corner, September 22nd through the 26th, with curbside the 27th. And the Memorial Hall will probably be opened up again starting October 1st roughly for open walk.
And just a question, is the public hearing gonna be with those numbers on the website? So then just people know about it, so if they see the numbers and they'll know where they can go to public hearing.
Yeah, the new ones are all they'll be published in the paper, and the new ones will be uploaded this week too.
With
I
the
haven't.
meeting?
Huh?
With the public hearing meeting date and time, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
That's all gotta be published in the paper for 2 weeks.
Perfect. Yep. Just wanna make sure, cause I know we've done the numbers, I just wanna make sure that they were together, I was pretty sure, but yeah, just asking.
Yeah, because we have to start the whole we have to start the whole
Yeah,
process.
I was asking mainly for the website specifically, cause that's not required, but just so that we'd have it on there too.
I think I usually put the same document that I send to the paper. I upload it, or I'll make sure that's what I do this time if I.
That works out good, yeah.
So there's no confusion.
Okay, you have my report here. Obviously, the seal code stuff has changed. Was gonna be this week, obviously next week. If there's any other questions, Mark, you might have something.
I was wondering about that emergency access road that goes down by my place. Clayton's here, so the trees haven't been trimmed on that since I did it like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And it's like a jungle if somebody were to drive through there.
I can take a look at it.
And then might need a little maintenance on that road as well. So, you'll look at that, please.
Oh, I forgot to ask you about that. Years past, did you guys rent a lift and go around and trim boulevards?
We've done it, once. We're not planning on doing it this year,
Okay.
perhaps next year.
I wonder, would that help on the forestry board's fund if the city just went and did that on a?
I don't think there's enough trees to do it every year. I mean, when we do it, we really do it. So, you know, we let them grow for a few more years, and we had quite a lot of negative feedback to our trimming.
Yeah, we did.
So when we do plan on doing it, we're gonna give plenty of forewarning for the next time. So I guess we haven't decided if we're doing it next year or not, but yeah.
Yeah, like Adam said, it's a trim, it's not a prune.
Yeah, we don't take trees down. We just we clear them so that our equipment doesn't hit them, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything from the floor? Nope. Meeting adjourned. I'll be in tomorrow, Chelsea, to sign checks.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh, I gotta sign this for, does it matter which one?